The Egyptian cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, has praised the outcomes of the Sharm El-Sheikh Peace Summit, co-chaired by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and US President Donald Trump, particularly the global cooperation to implement the Gaza ceasefire agreement. The cabinet welcomed the comprehensive truce, detainee exchanges, Israeli withdrawal, and entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza. Madbouli hailed the summit as a historic milestone that ended the two-year Gaza war and showcased Egypt's diplomatic leadership. He reaffirmed Egypt's commitment to advancing reconstruction and political settlement efforts, emphasizing ongoing coordination with international partners to implement the Sharm El-Sheikh Agreement and President Trump's roadmap for lasting Middle East peace. Egypt has dispatched 600 trucks loaded with food, fuel and cooking gas from the Rafah crossing to Gaza, marking a major step in delivering humanitarian aid to the famine-stricken enclave. Fuel and gas convoys were reported moving towards Sharm El-Sheikh and Al-Auja crossings for inspection before entering Gaza. 208 trucks have entered Gaza from Egypt today through the Sharm El-Sheikh crossing. That comes as hundreds more humanitarian trucks, part of a larger relief convoy, are awaiting entry via the Sharm El-Sheikh and Al-Auja crossings. The Palestinian Authority has said it is ready to reopen the Rafah crossing from the Palestinian side to allow humanitarian aid into Gaza. Mohammed Shattaye, Special Envoy to President Mahmoud Abbas, confirmed the existing agreement with the EU remains valid and the PA has notified all parties of its readiness. Israel, controlling the crossing since May 2024, has restricted aid and delayed reopening. Shattaye warned Gaza's reconstruction could cost over $70 billion and called for urgent international aid to provide water, electricity and food amid widespread destruction.
European police, and the Palestinian Authority police were there.
Israeli media, citing a security source, has reported that the Rafah border crossing on the Palestinian side will remain closed today, with no date yet set for its reopening. The source explained that reopening is logistically impossible at the moment, as teams must first inspect the area and deploy a technical mission, which will take time. He added that the crossing will likely remain closed tomorrow as well. Meanwhile, around 600 trucks carrying humanitarian aid have entered Gaza through the Sharm El-Sheikh crossing under the Sharm El-Sheikh peace agreement. The Director General of Gaza's Government Media Office, Ismail Al-Thawabta, has urged Israel to immediately open border crossings to allow aid into the enclave. He said US pressure is needed to ensure access. Al-Thawabta highlighted dire conditions, including water shortages and an environmental crisis with over 250,000 tons of waste and limited equipment to manage it. Priority for travel, once crossings reopen, will go to the sick and wounded. The United Nations has said Israel has informed it of plans to cut by half the number of aid trucks entering Gaza, despite earlier pledges to allow around 600 trucks through the following the ceasefire. The UN Deputy Spokesman Farhan Haq said Israel cited the return of bodies as the reason for the reduction. Haq emphasized the UN's call for all parties to honor ceasefire commitments, particularly the uninterrupted flow of humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza. The Red Cross has transported the bodies of 4 deceased detainees from Gaza City back to Israel following a detainee exchange deal between Israel and Hamas. The deal saw the release of 20 live Israeli detainees and almost 2,000 Palestinian detainees. While Hamas freed the last living detainees, it has yet to publicly agree to disarm despite the ongoing ceasefire. U.S. President Donald Trump has declared that Hamas must disarm or face forcible disarmament. Speaking at the White House during a meeting with Argentine President Javier Milei, Trump said, "If they don't disarm, we will disarm them, and it will happen quickly and perhaps violently." He emphasized that Hamas had committed to disarm, but warned of consequences if they failed to comply. Trump also highlighted the recent success of securing the release of detainees as a priority achievement.
Above all else, get the hostages back. Now, they misrepresented because we were told they had 26, 24 of dead hostages, if we can